right, so everybody wants a second income. Everybody wants more income, a side hustle, or you're talking about sometimes people talking about starting their own business one day, or many of us go do it, and it is, it's a lot of work to start your own business. It's a lot of work to start anything on the side, right? Your day's already full. You got a life that you're managing, right? So adding things in, this is always tricky because the day is still 24 hours. You want to add any one new thing to your day, your life, your habits, anything like that. You're squeezing something else out, or you're replacing things. So time is money. Understand that, because that's the real currency, is what it means. Time is what you actually should value. Money they make. Money people got. They get rid of it all the time. Money moves. Time is fixed. So I want to talk about that and how it works in investments, income, money, time, why that all matters. So if you're a business owner already, you already know it is a whole lot of time to run your own thing. And the payoff is, sometimes it's a long road, right? Like you're going to start a business, and it takes money to start, it takes people to start, it takes time, it takes a lot of resources. If you're not somebody who's fully on the commit of like, I'm going to do this for 3 years, 5 years, I'm going to really give this business thing a run. If you're not really commit on that, you just want more income, then this is very important to listen to. Because starting a business is an entirely different thing. I don't care if it's just some Shopify e-commerce, you're going to try some side hustle thing. I promise, if you're not taking it 100% seriously, like it's very likely it won't work unless you really try your hardest, and then maybe you got a shot. Like if you don't have that mindset on it, it's always worth the attempt, right? Because you learn things about yourself. If you're a motivated person, right? Lessons are learned even from bad experiences and problems. But my mission here is to just tell you, it is way easier to be the investor than the business owner, than the boss, than the CEO, than any of that. Okay? All of them are still trading time for money. Investors trade money for money. Investors look for a business or an opportunity to earn a return, a certain level of risk. They put money that they they didn't purchase things with their money. They had foregone spending from their income. So discipline, and you take that money and you're going to make more money with it. Now, I like the stock market. There's a lot of ways to invest. I've found the stock market it's about the most transparent place you could invest, because we have the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, regulates all of the market activities in the public markets, right? So every company you've heard of that has a stock that trades on the public exchanges, like Apple, IBM, Google, all of these companies. If you don't know this, every single one, every quarter, and in order to be a publicly offered, like shares are available to the public to purchase, they have to file strict financial data, financial reporting. They have to file any type of changes that in ownerships and insiders, if they're moving stock around, all these things. It's a very, very transparent business. Now, really think about people who started their businesses, or people you've known who had businesses. And I'm not, there's good and there's bad people, but really think about the people you've known who've ran businesses. How clear cut are they on all the money flows, the decision making? Would you give someone with a business $50,000 and basically not be involved at all? Like you're not gonna be involved in the decisions. You're not gonna be involved in how the money gets used. You're not gonna be involved in the day-to-day operations, that if they're gonna change, if they're even trying to do anything. In a public company, this is all known, and they cover the news cycle on this is 100% of the day. You can turn on any channel any time of the day if there's news about a stock or a public company, like Apple's having something come out, Tesla's doing this. It's news. Everybody knows. This is the in investing. There's two types of information about companies. It's material information. We're going to talk about. They call it material information, meaning it's significant enough about the company. It's information that would possibly move the stock price and the value of the company, right? So that's material information. It means it matters. You can have public and non-public material information. Non-public would mean it just hadn't been made known yet, but it generally has to be made known at earnings or quarterly filings, things like that. That's what's really going on in the business, right? Like that type of disclosure, operations, change-ups, weakness or strength that they're seeing in their industry in certain places. This is where, in a public company, this is all transparent. They're providing this. They have to. You can listen to CEOs and earnings calls of all these companies to really, you got to get up close, really. Would you give people money and you don't listen to who's the boss? Not me. Like, I want to listen to the CEO talk. I want to listen to the CEO on CNBC when they go on and they get their little promo periods. Any company, they're all doing a press circuit up there, but they get to go up and they get to volley some questions with the anchors and tell them about what they're doing with their company and why this is going to work, and we're doing this and this and this. Like, Intel, I think the other week they were having that terrible week and day. Stock was down like 20 or 30%. I can't recall right now, but the CEO has got to get up there and explain that shit, right? So he's got to get up there and explain what they're doing in order to fix this. Now, whether you believe him or not is up to you. Personally, when I listen, I really listen to see if this person is basically reading. Are they a politician up there? Are they reading the information that the lawyers or the other board members or whatever was approved to be said, like a very curated message, right? Basically cue card readers or teleprompting, just canned responses. And you can really see when they're doing this. The certain CEOs who are just, they're just up there to be, somebody's got to be the face of the company or something. Somebody's got to make a statement, and they're just up there and they're like very, it's like hilarious, some of them. You can tell they're just very concerned about saying it exactly right, especially if they're talking on negative or bad performance or company turnarounds that are needed. And then there's more natural, they understand the business, they've got vision. They're generally the top type founders, CEOs, people these are the companies you want to be like. When you listen to the NVIDIA CEO talk, he is that company. Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, who's another big one? These are the companies, though, right? The guy in charge is setting the tone, the direction, and he's actually got his reputation sort of on the line because this is his company. And I like those types of companies who kind of got that vision, founder, a real leader type of a CEO or somebody who's gonna take the reins on a company. There's plenty of CEOs that get swapped all the time, and it doesn't always work out. Some companies might not be savable, but you have to have your money with the right people. Now, back to starting your own business versus investing. These are, again, the top educated people in the world most of the time, running these big billion-dollar companies in the United States. You have, as an American citizen, the opportunity to invest in the best businesses in the world. Google, Apple, Facebook. I'm not recommending, I'm just naming the top names. Microsoft, going to be a big name, right? The ChatGPT, AI stuff, all these. Why wouldn't you want to put money with what's clearly going to be the winner, right? Like, do you want to really start up a clothing brand or some side online thing that you think you're going to put all these hours after you go do your regular day, go to work or school and come back, and you got to do all your life and everything, and then you're going to do 4 or 5 hours of online, you're going to get your laptop out and you're going to run a new business, right? I mean, it's so much easier. You look at companies, I'm looking at companies as I pull them up here for you. Kraft Heinz, UPS, Walgreens. Some of these are $10 a share, $30 a share. To start a business, you need some real money up front. Now, whether you need to get some equipment or you got to really invest heavily in things. With shares in companies, you take your paycheck and you just have to have the discipline. You got to set hey, 50 a week, 150 a week, whatever your income supports, right? I personally, I think 10% savings is that's basically zero to me. 10% is Like I have an ambition to get it done faster. With everything I do, I want to find let me max it out, right? So like my first 5 or so years, for sure 5 years out of college working, we were saving 25% of our income through, you're getting like a 401k, so we have, 5 or 6% coming out of the paycheck straight off into that, and then the company's matching. If they're doing that, they got to do that. So we're doing that, and then with our actual paychecks too, then we take and we max out the Roth IRAs every year, right? Right now, I believe that's $6,000 per person a year if you're married. These change every year, but right now it's 2024. I believe it's about $6,000 a person if your income is under a certain threshold, around 200K. But we'd max those out. So now we got the 401k match, or we got the 401k money, 5 or 6% going off into that. So that never even hit our paycheck. Then Roth IRA with the cash from the actual paycheck, you max that out because there's a limit, because that account, that money, anything you make, that money in a Roth IRA, never taxed again. That's the beauty and advantage of it, but there's only so much you can put in a year. There's a lot we could say on that account type too later. But then the other type, where other people would probably just be saving into a savings account, whatever you got, we never did that. We had E-Trade account, or Fidelity, or whoever, TD Ameritrade, all of them, and you get a regular brokerage account, and you're saving into that. And that works just like a regular checking account, except you buy stocks with it. So you put money in this week, you want money back out next week, fine, take it right back out. If you didn't buy anything, or you don't have to buy or sell shares to get your money in and out, there's no tax implications. If you just put money in and you save it in there, and then one day you see a stock and it's been one you're waiting on, you got some cash piled up, that's the way we'd do it. You got $2,000 in there ready to buy X amount of shares finally, or something, when you catch a good price, but you've been saving automatically into that. Now it's so much easier to just put money into the right businesses and have that long-term thinking with it, and it's set and forget. You give Apple $2,000 today, you buy maybe 200 or so a share, right? So let's say you get almost 10 shares. It's a little less, but let's say you could get 10 shares for $2,000. Those 10 shares, you don't have to do anything with them. Now the price is going to move because they quote these all day long. But if you were starting a business and you put $2,000 into it, that's just literally gone. Like, if you had to buy equipment or some stuff, or you're gonna, money into a website or whatever you're gonna do, you're investing something. It's sunk, right? There's just to get this thing going, you're trying to get money into it and like start this fire. Why not just go into a working model, right? So that's my method for making extra money. And I didn't get deep into it, but this video is getting a little long, so I'm trying to keep these shorter. And I mean, really, just start thinking about like this, that you can be putting money into the American businesses, the best companies in the world, that are profitable, that all the information is right in front of us, public markets, public information, it's all, I'll go through anything you want. Ask me what you want to look at, but all the financial data is right there for the taking, and we have the opportunity to select, oh, I don't like that company because of this, oh, I'd rather this is a stronger company, and you literally are, picking of already the top companies. Now you get to skim off and say, well, these are the really, really profitable good ones here that I'd want to put my money and invest in, and I want to own this company, and I don't need to be a part of it, I don't want to work there, I don't want to be dealing with decisions, I just want to put money in and get more money back later. That's what an investor does. Like dividends, or the company's going to value up more, and the prices will, the share price will increase, and all this. The real trick here is that if you thought you were going to put $2,000 in and never see it below what you put in, or in 2 weeks if it says $1,900, or in 2 weeks if it says $2,500, maybe it went up and you made 20% in a short amount of time. Do you sell? Was that the intent? Or were you buying a good company for 10 years, So you gotta flip your mind into this idea of investing versus, scrambling around thinking the stock market's maybe a scam, or it's just, I don't know. It's definitely a place to make money. A lot of people make money. I've made money. A lot of people make really good living off of their investments, and I'm hoping to show a lot of people that this is right here for our taking. I mean, like I've said it before, you can open an E-Trade account on your phone right now. You download the app, take you a few minutes, and you can buy and sell investments, just like sending emails, almost like you just moving things around. But you have to get started on this, because how could you go? Imagine living in this country 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Some people just get here when they're in their adult age, but to never really get into the American economy, our stock market, the businesses that provide all the products. I'm on an iPhone right now. Apple's got, I don't know how many things of Apple I've got on me right now. These are the things that run our lives now, and to be just along for that investment while things in the world like technology come up, and there's opportunities like this, to just be invested like that as an investor, not a business owner, not an entrepreneur, not trying to make something happen. You're just looking for that return, that extra income to provide that freedom. I mean, I look at the stock market, so if you guys are, I've looked at real estate, I look at a lot of things now, but I still think for the majority of beginners, especially, if you're not investing, if you haven't figured out discipline with money, get an account. If you can get your brokerage account, you got to get an investment account of over 10 grand. And that's not going to happen by making money. That's going to happen by discipline. That's going to happen by, like, you take money, you set it aside, you stash it into safe, good investments, not gambles, not maybe this will do, not maybe there's an earnings announcement. Like, this is where you got to build a rock here. You got to, like, a foundation going. But you get that going, and then it can get fun. It's the same as fitness, right? Like, if everyone is like 2 to 3 weeks away from a body they've never had. If you could stay committed and just make some decisions that you've never made before, change your whole life in a very short amount of time. But it takes getting over that hurdle of the uncomfortability of the part where you don't want to do it. I'm talking about fitness and investing here. You got to forego spending. You got to take money that you could have used today, could have gone on a trip, and say, hey, I'd maybe, $2,000 could have a lot of fun this week or whatever on a trip, or this thing I want or whatever. But, like, if you don't have the solid vision for the long run of why you're going to do it, then yeah, it's going to be tricky and you'll give up. But if you're serious about finding extra income and new ways to change your life, improve your life, get more freedom, all that, this is, to me, the easiest method there is as far as, like, finding extra income. Because you start the business, again, you got to capital invest into it, versus the stock market. It's still there. You might not be happy, but the money's still there. The shares might go down in price. The shares could go down, up and down in price over the time you hold it, and that's just the way that it is. You're putting money at risk. But, like, if you started a business and it didn't work out, the money's just gone, right? So, in a way, I don't want this video to go longer, but you can see what I mean. There's a surety and a safety that comes with investing in solid businesses that are already ran by top individuals in the country. Day to day, they're showing up to make all these decisions, deal with the problems, and you just have to check in here and there. You got to pay attention, right? I'm not saying like set and forget type of things, but you just got to check in and watch your money and make sure it's with the right company and the right investments. And that's what being an investor is about. Like, you use your money to make money, but you use your mind to make the decisions about the money. Right? Talk to you later.